Hello everybody and welcome to another comic review. Today I'm reviewing Ant-Man #1, which I just picked up the first one today. I didn't get the second one, and by reading the last page, the second one apparently came out today. So I will have to see if my comic book store is carrying that. I'm guessing that they are, and I just didn't see it today. I'm not really sure, but I got the first one, and I think that they decided to bring back this title obviously because they're bringing out the Ant-Man movie, and it would make sense for them to bring out the comic book for people who are not familiar with Ant-Man, his origin, his story, all that. And since there are so many different Ant-Mans throughout the Ant-Man timeline, um, this is the most recent one. This is the Scott Lang Ant-Man. He's back, and it's sort of it's just very ant-centric, and it's basically just a backstory. It tells his backstory of being a superhero, but also a villain. He's sort of just one of those superheroes where he has his good times and his bad times. He sort of goes back and forth from being the villain and the hero, and he sort of goes back and sort of gives a little bit of that story, gives his personal story. This is sort of more of like, I would say sort of like a She-Hulk type of comic where, you know, superhero, you think success, and that's not what he has. It's sort of him trying to put his life back together and get back on the right track for his family and stuff. Like, that wasn't exactly what She-Hulk was doing, but it's like she's trying to build up her business and be successful. That's sort of what you're getting here. It's like a rags to riches story that's in the process of happening. It's written by Nick Spencer, who I really like. He did Superior Foes of Spider-Man, and I can definitely tell that he wrote both titles because they're sort of similar. Completely, actually. You even have Beetle, who's in both of them. You have a couple other characters that get brought back that are from other comics that I really liked. They don't play a big scene, but they have a little part. Like, they brought back Prodigy, who was in Young Avengers, that, like, the new Young Avengers story, and I really liked him in that, so I was excited to see him here. I'm guessing he just is going to pop up here and there. I would love to see him with his own title. I know that he's just sort of an underrated thing, but I didn't think that he got enough spotlight in Young Avengers, so I would love to see him go on and get his own series or something. And then you do have Beetle. She makes a cameo in here in a few different spots. And I don't know that either one of those characters are going to come back to here because they were sort of just in like a test scene. But from start to finish, it wasn't a bad book. I mean, I enjoyed reading it, but once you got to the end, you were kind of like, why did, at least for me, I was sort of like, why did I have to read any of this? Like, basically the premise is he's trying to get this job with Tony Stark to get an apartment to make money so that he can spend more time with his daughter and have a better life for his daughter and his family. And then he ends up, I guess spoiler, he ends up getting the job, and then he's just like, I don't want this job anymore. I'm just gonna move to Florida with my daughter. And so basically, like, he spends all this time getting the job, and then he just doesn't end up taking it in the end. And so I was just sort of like, okay, I just read all these pages, and it's basically for nothing. I mean, it was entertaining, and I laughed. I laughed at some spots. I mean, I don't know, Nick Spencer can entertain me. I love Morning Glories. I like Superior Foes of Spider-Man. I know some people didn't, but I did. I like this. Did he do Secret Avengers? He might have done Secret Avengers, and I liked that title as well. But yeah, Ant-Man #1. It's worth your time to read if you like. I mean, if you want to know about Ant-Man, I would read it because it gives information that you might need if you're wanting to go see the movie and you're not familiar with the character. It gives information on that. It's I mean, the artwork isn't bad. It's not, you know, top Marvel game. This is sort of like, as far as like Marvel comics goes, this would be like the indie Marvel comics for me. You know, you have like your higher grade and your like not lower grade, but this would be more of a back shelf title, I guess. Even though it's $4.99, I think they like price hiked everything. So like if this was like the $3.99 or the $2.99, this would probably be like a cheaper comic for me. But all in all, like, once again, I feel like I'm contradicting myself. I was entertained, but then I got to the end and I was just sort of like, okay, so why did all of the rest of the story need to happen? Maybe in the future issue, like maybe whenever I get the second one, it'll tell me why it needed to happen, but right now I just sort of, I'm like, I wonder why I had to read that. One thing that I did like about it is it's been okay. Once again, I'm gonna say this in probably like my next 15 videos. It's been a while since I've sat down and read a lot of comics at once, and this is the first non-indie comic that I've read. I've like got through all of my Image and all of those comics, and now I'm starting to read Marvel, and this is the first Marvel one that I've read. The last time that I sat down and read a lot of Marvel comics, it's like every other page is an advertisement. And I hate that. I've always hated that. I hate advertisements in comics because I don't care. I just don't. This one has two, and one of them is the best. One of them is a Midtown Comics, which is where I got this, so that's fine. Like, advertise it. Like, if I buy the comic there, it's sort of like it's just they're putting a business card in it for me. The other one, I think, is just purely here for a joke, but I love it. If you've probably seen this ad if you have if you collect comics from the Gold and Silver Age. The Tony Atlas, yeah, this is like priceless right here. Or Charles Atlas, sorry, Tony Atlas is a wrestling thing. The Charles Atlas like send in stuff and get buff like advertisement. Usually it's in black and white. This time it's in color. For all I know, I have not read a Marvel comic in a little while, so for all I know, these have been in comics for months, but this is my first time seeing it, and I just stared at it for like 5 minutes. It was amazing. And you can tell, like, they totally like, this was a black and white page, and they colored it. Like, look at that dude. Like, I don't even know if he's probably still alive anymore, but those are some shorts. That's some I don't know if that would be swimwear, but that's some workout clothes. That's all I have to say. It doesn't even say. Yeah, it's this whole thing is hilarious. I love it. I just want to stare at it. I the main reason I wanted it, like, this is on like the third or fourth page. The main reason I wanted to do this review was so that I could talk about that advertisement. So now I've talked about it. I think it's amazing. But overall, the comic isn't bad. It's well written. It's entertaining. It's just once you get to the last page, you're sort of like, you know, you only need like this many pages, and then the end. The rest of it was just unneeded filler. But maybe that'll come back to make sense in the second issue, which I haven't read yet, so don't get mad. But yeah, so this is Ant-Man #1. I liked it, but I'm wondering what it is with these superhero comics lately. It seems like all of the superheroes that they're bringing back to give their own solo series, they all have the same kind of theme. Like, oh, superhero, you know, retired or died or, you know, just had rough times, and now they're trying to get back in the game and stuff, and they always have like these hard times, and it's like, superhero, like, come on, this shouldn't, I mean, not all superheroes have this issue, so it seems like they're all running to Iron Man, they're all going to Tony Stark, or they're all going to Daredevil, or they're all going to Bruce Banner. Like, it's all the same kind of theme. If you're not like one of the big superheroes, you're like, You have like the up here superheroes, and then it's just like down here. There's not really like an in-between level. You're either up here or you're down here trying to like scrape onto the coattails of the ones that are up there. And I don't know that I like that theme. It's sort of like, you know, if superheroes were real, I feel like there's not enough that are up here to make people want to be a superhero, you know? Maybe if superheroes were a real thing around New York right now, like little kids might be like, oh yeah, like I could be like him, but like here's this homeless superhero over here, and I might be more likely to turn out like him. So, you know, paint better pictures for the superheroes, I guess. For the children. Do it for the children. So yeah, I don't know. Read this just so that we can talk about it, because I don't know, I feel like I need to talk about it, even though it is a lot of filler, but still read it. So that's my review. If you got anything out of it at all, it's just me rambling about stuff, and then Charles Atlas, whatever. So I will see you guys next time. Bye!